What is a control loop? This is the block diagram of control loop. Control loop is a management system to regulate the process. Process, whatever you're making processing. Measure the process value tells us whether process condition is too high or too low. Controller decides whether to make an adjustment, sometimes, how much. The adjustment change affects the process. Start with a measurement. Measurement. To control anything you need to start with a measurement. Process is measured by sensor, transducer, transmitter. What is sensor? First you need to know about instrument. Instrument is a device used for measuring any physical quantity. There is a little difference in sensor and transducer. First we will deal with sensor. It is the instrument which senses the change and make it readable. We basically measure physical quantity whose output can be electrical or non-electrical. Example of sensor is thermometer. Mercury rises shows the displacement which is calibrated in term of temperature. Similarly in bimetallic strip which convert a temperature change into mechanical displacement. Sensor is also called primary transducer. So now come to transducer. The general definition of transducer is to convert one form of energy into some other form of energy. But in instrumentation's term, it is a device which converts non-electrical quantity into electrical quantity. Example. Pressure sensor converts pressure to electrical signal. Thermocouple converts heat to millivolts. RTD changes resistance with temperature. Transducers are always the core of an industrial transmitter. What is a transmitter? A set of equipment used to generate and transmit electromagnetic waves carrying messages or signals, especially those of radio or television. Transmitter converts a weak, low-level transducer signal into a robust, conditioned signal. Pneumatic signal. Electronic signal. Hardened for industrial environments. Usable over long distances, relatively noise-resistant. What is an indicator? Indicator, a device providing specific information on the state or condition of something, in particular. Displays a measurement. Analog. Pressure gauge. Digital, numerical values. Can be part of transmitter. Can be part of a controller. Can display only. Might or might not be part of a control loop. What is a process variable? Process variable, abbreviated PV. Whatever's being measured and controlled in the control loop. Signal coming from the field transmitter. Examples, temperature, pressure, flow, level, pH, relative humidity, conductivity. Dan calls it what you got. The value in the upper display happens to be labeled PV on this controller. What is a setpoint? Setpoint, abbreviated SP. The desired result of control. It's where you set the thermostat. Dan calls it what you want. The value in the lower display happens to be labeled SP on this controller. Now come to controller. The controller reads the measured process variable. What you got. Knows what you want. Is setpoint. Compares what you got process variable to what you want. Setpoint makes a decision based on the comparison. It may hold steady. It may increase. It may decrease. Holds or changes its output. Adjustment. Adjustment. Process controller's output. Signal to the final control element. Means of making an adjustment. Output is the manipulated variable, MV. Textbook word. Commonly called output. Common expression, the output is calling for heat. Final control element. Physically controls a desired output variable, flow, electricity. Puts more or less energy or more or less stuff into the process. Controller's output signal drives a final control element. Tells final control element to turn on or to turn off. Defines the magnitude of change the final control element should make. Examples of final control elements: electrical motors driving a pump, variable speed drive or variable frequency drive to an electric motor, contactor which turns pump's motor on, control valve, SCR, thyristor unit, industrial grade light dimmer.